Gypsy Cemetery. Southeast Grove Cemetery is located in Indiana near the town of Crown Point. This old cemetery sits near a country road. There is a legend connected to this cemetery that has been told since the late 1800s. It is said there was an injustice done here over 180 years ago, which resulted in the area being cursed. Others feel the strange activity experienced at Southeast Grove is because this small cemetery is haunted. The most common story told involves a band of gypsies that were passing through the area in the 1820s. They stopped and camped on the land that was later used for the town cemetery. Some of the townsfolk found the gypsies' fortune-telling and the jewelry they sold fascinating, but most of the locals were not welcoming. They were suspicious and felt these strangers were there to rob them. The leader of the band was approached and ordered to gather his group and move on. But it was late fall, and before the band could pack up, several members were stricken with influenza. When several members died, the gypsy leaders approached the local doctor, but the residents were afraid the disease would spread, so the doctors refused assistance. Now angry, the gypsies did pack up, but it is said before they left the area, they buried their dead on the land, and then cursed the town for being so unwelcoming. 2 Crown Point men checked out the gypsy campsite after they left. They noticed several freshly dug graves. When they returned to town, they found blood on their shoes and on the bottom of their pants. After this, a rumor began that the gypsies cursed the area. The belief persisted, for when the small plot of land was later used for a local cemetery, many nicknamed Southeast Grove the Gypsy Cemetery. This rumor was kept alive in part because more witnesses claimed they found a sticky red substance on their shoes that appeared to be blood after visiting this area. Most residents of Crown Point today dismiss this old curse, but others feel, regardless of whether there was a curse or not, this cemetery is haunted. One prevalent report is that strange lights are seen. It is said that a giant ball of light has followed cars after they leave the cemetery. Other reports state this light also follows cars that just pass by. Witnesses report feeling extreme cold spots while in the cemetery, even on warm days. People say the dogs will not enter the area, often barking insistently. One modern-day gypsy family visited Southeast Grove at night recently. The father walked to the back of the cemetery where the gypsy graves are located. He then rushed back to the rest of his family and announced he wanted to leave. He told them he had gotten the feeling something evil was watching him. He sat in his car until the rest of the family was ready to leave. Others have backed up his statement while visiting the cemetery. They felt as if someone was watching them the entire time they were there. Witnesses have also reported seeing mists that slowly take on human forms. Today the cemetery, also known as the Gypsies' Graveyard, seems serene and peaceful, but visitors say it takes on a different feel at night with spirits that come to life. Cherville police officer Diane Pfeiffer knows. When she visited the cemetery in August with her 8-year-old nephew, Patrick, and her dog, Pfeiffer saw 2 statues, one of Jesus and another of an angel, that she not noticed before. She moved slowly closer to the angel, which she said was wearing Mardi Gras type beads. It was just like a strange feeling, a sensation, like you've stepped into a cold pocket. She said her dog froze in its tracks and refused to leave her side even when her nephew called for it. Pfeiffer had known of another statue there, as she and Patrick had visited the cemetery a half a dozen or so times, but that one had mysteriously disappeared, she said. The statue, she said, was of a woman carrying flowers or fruit in her arms, wearing a long, flowing gown. The statue reminded Pfeiffer of a gypsy. Pfeiffer isn't the only one who has noticed strange happenings at the cemetery. Several people have posted internet messages this year that give credibility to the 180-year-old myth. One person in the Chicagoland Ghost Club discussion group on Yahoo said when people walk behind the cemetery's fence, blood appears on their pants. Even Mike McDowell, president of the Indiana Ghost Trackers, conducts tours at the Gypsies graveyard at least twice a year. He said he has seen white balls of light called orbs and paranormal activities such as ectoplasms or strange white mists or shapes. One time McDowell said in person in his group felt something tugging at his belt. When McDonald looked to see what it was, he said he saw a white orb. Does that mean that all the creepy feelings, cold breezes, and perceived apparitions really equate to a haunted cemetery?